Our special guest tonight is Captain Robert Rand from the fire department, and he is here to talk about a potentially dangerous situation in many or most Westborough homes, and that's the possibility of carbon monoxide poisoning, which can be lethal.
Katie, we've had some incidents, especially during the blizzard, where people's the vent pipes for their furnaces and hot water heaters, they were covered by the snow, the drifting snow, and the fire department responded to a number of calls for potential carbon monoxide problems. So I thought it'd be good to bring somebody from the fire department in, and Bob Rand is one of the experts at the fire department in regards to this, so they can show us a little bit of what people can do to protect themselves, both with carbon monoxide detectors and also smoke detectors. There's different types, and that's something that I think the public would be very interested in also. So.
Bob,
good
welcome.
evening. Thank you. Thank you to both of you for allowing us to be heard. And on behalf of Chief Perrin, thank you for allowing us to present this information tonight, because it is very important to everybody in town. When we talk about carbon monoxide, it is the silent killer, because it is odorless, it is colorless, it occurs in every home that has something that would burn a fossil fuel. And a fossil fuel could be oil, natural gas, your furnace, that's your wood stove, pellet stove.
Heaters.
Well, those aren't allowed anymore, but a kerosene heater, a space heater, propane, the automobile that is sitting in the garage. So many devices will create carbon monoxide, and unfortunately, an incident happened back in 2005 where a young girl died in a home because of the drifting snow, and the vent wasn't allowed to be cleared, and the CO level went up so high that she died.
Right. Fortunately, that wasn't Westborough.
That was in the southeastern
Right.
Massachusetts,
Right.
yes.
Now, we were talking about something before the show, and I want to make sure that we remember to mention it, because I had always heard that carbon monoxide poisoning makes your body, your lips, your face become bright red. And I always assumed that if there were too much carbon monoxide in your home and you were feeling ill, you would be able to look in the mirror or look at someone else in the home and say, wow, your face is bright red, it's carbon monoxide. But you said that's not necessarily true.
It's a late sign, a very late sign. Most of the time, the signs and symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning, especially on initial onset, are very similar to flu-like symptoms. And that's why it's so difficult to discriminate between the two when we go to an ambulance call or a medical emergency for somebody. Are they having the flu, or is there a high level of carbon monoxide in the home?
Which we would never
Which you would know
about.
unless some of these devices were in the home that were alarming.
Yes.
That elevated levels are measured in parts per million, literally, and we can actually use a new device that's put on your finger that will measure the amount of carbon monoxide that's in your blood compared to the oxygen level that's
So
there.
when you go on an ambulance call, you can use this device and tell right away, is it carbon monoxide poisoning?
It gives us an indicator on how the hemoglobin is attached to carbon monoxide versus oxygen, as we do with the regular pulse oximetry systems.
So have we had any calls where there have been carbon monoxide poisoning in Westborough?
Yes. I go back and I look at a couple where individuals were either motionless, and they just had enough energy to call 911, and we would find out that literally the house was full. That was pre-carbon monoxide detector time. And I knew another one where they were very close. Some were taken to the hospital, some weren't, but it was a situation that certainly presented a hazard, and it had something to do with a furnace or a stuffed chimney, where someone would make a nest up on the top of the chimney, and the actual stove, the fireplace would be started, and there's no place for the carbon monoxide to go.
So the intervention really was life-saving.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, they had the energy to dial 911 and for us to get there and see that they were in that condition.
Wow.
But unfortunately, that's much too late that we want to be there. That's cutting it too close.